Hi. Hey, I just wanted to hop on real quick here. And I know anyone who's been listening to me for any length of time knows that it's never real quick. But I was yeah, driving to Home Depot to pick up some stuff for one of the jobs that I'm working on. And I'll just listen to podcasts while I'm driving. So makes my driving experience fantastic because the podcasts are wonderful. So I was listening to Abraham Hicks and you know the stuff that the stuff that comes out of Esther's mouth is just so phenomenal sometimes. Anyway, the one that I want to relate to you, we had a fellow that asked a question. Um, his question was surrounding the three children that he has that are showing signs of autism, or they're autistic. They've been diagnosed as being autistic. And his question was, so is this got anything to do with our physical interaction with the environment that we're in? Because, coming from the point of view that we are spirit and we enter this body, and so there may be some disjunction between what the spirit is expecting and what it's capable of handling, that kind of thing. Well, Esther, or at least Abraham, dispelled that theory right away. But what came out of that conversation with this fellow was the whole concept of what we do to, as far as loving people, and this extrapolates into, at least I extrapolated into, loving situations. We love conditionally. So if so what Abraham said to this fellow is, if these children of yours were normal, would you have the same relationship with them, or would you expect them to abide by your rules for love? In other words, the underlying current was, okay, so if you're my child, I will love you when you follow my rules. But now this person has three children who are autistic, and they don't comply with the rules. And there's nothing that he can do to change their compliance. No amount of threats, no amount of, um, gifts offered, or, nothing works with autistic children to make them follow what you believe they should be doing. In other words, to fall in line with your idea of someone you can love, they, they're supposed to look the way you want them to look. Now, when you think about the he loves these children just as much as if they were not autistic, and perhaps even more. And he admittedly said, yeah, there's I feel a stronger connection with these children than I would with, like when my friends bring children over or something like that. I don't feel that same connection, even though they are young, they're infants, and they're adorable and all that. And so, Abraham says, well, okay, so think about your relationship with the people in your life, and do you love the people in your life because they comply with your expectations? And when they don't, do you maybe dislike them a little bit, or you know, do you have some discomfort with them when they don't fall quite in line with what, you know, your idea of you should be like this so that I can love you more. And and that kind of, okay, so when you're in a loving relationship with someone, you have a life mate, Do you love them because they follow your rules? And when they don't follow your rules, do you maybe not love them so much? And how foolish is that? Hey, Maddie, how are you? Thank you for joining. That's one thing, obviously, to ponder. It's like I would love to be in a relationship with someone, and my part of that relationship, if I want them to be happy and excited and feel loved, how do I do that? Well, how I do that is I feel loved in that relationship, and I feel happy, and I feel accepting of whom they are and the way they present themselves, and I love them unconditionally, just like this guy loves his autistic children. He can't imply any conditions. They are just who they are. They react the way they react, and there's nothing he can do to change that. And your environment is the same way. The things that are happening to you in your life are must be lovable because they are. They are brought to you by the universe for your edification and for your education. And if you don't love them, what you're doing is you're resisting the message. When you do love what's going on in your life unconditionally, that's when you receive the message, and that's when you grow, and that's when you expand. I could go on and on and on. I think you get the message. I hope you get the message. Um, and if any of you, please, if you want to talk to me about this, I would love, love, love to go in down this little rabbit hole. Chase this until we come to the conclusion that what is going on in our lives is absolutely perfect, and our lives are perfect right the way they are, even though we have a judgment about what's going on in our lives, and generally that judgment is going to be, nah, it's not what I want. And it's not what you want just because we are constantly wanting something more. We're constantly wanting to grow. That's our spirit. That's who we are. That's We're put here to grow. And so we come to a situation, we learn something, and we're content for a little bit of time. And then we figure out something else that we want to learn. So now we're discontented. That's part of it. That's all part of it. So those of you who may be expecting to be, in eternal bliss, God love you. you know, Good luck with that. But just understand that you can be very satisfied and happy with what's going on, and you can still have desires to have more in your life, and you can still have goals, and you can still have direction, and you can still have wants that are beyond where you are now. Okay. So give that some thought. And please, those of you who are in the group, let's get a discussion going around this. I really want to hear from you concerning your thoughts about, you know, what goes on with your life, and the times that you dislike what's going on, or the times that you've learned how to adapt to and accept and grow. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. I love all you guys.